Greetings, commanders, and welcome on in to Supercruise News, episode 46, I believe, which is getting close to number 50, Bruce. Number 50, very
Yeah,
soon.
well, we're already on the big 4-6. What a
Just as
monumentous
big.
occasion. I'm so excited. Oh seven, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep,
Good to
welcome
see
on
you
in.
all.
I guess just as a quick, as usual, I'm Zach, one of the community managers here on Elite Dangerous, and obviously Bruce is also here, one of the community managers on Elite. One of the first things we said when we joined our sort of call for this, when like 5-10 minutes ago, is that it is abnormally hot, and I always like to point that out at the start of every stream when it is the case. So I guess I'll do my usual. Where are you from? What's the temperature like? What's the weather like today? While we go through and say hello to some of the people in chat, we've got Heather, hello. We've got the Burr Pit, hello. We've got Elvis, we've got hello, hello. Who else we got? Stephen in Space, hello. Quill Monkey, hello. Bruce, you got anyone on your side?
Yeah, sorry, are you reading from YouTube or
I was doing
Twitch?
both, but feel free to pick.
Doing both. Okay, well, hello. We have the Burrs 07. Hello, Marcus Dean 0707. Colin Ford. Yagashura says hello. Commander Evolution 07 to everyone. Psykit is here with us as well. 07 to all. Too many people to name. Pilot's Lounge, Game Then Grave, Bad Swede. Hello, hello.
Lots and lots of people, and lots of.
Bad Swede. Is that?
Is that
I
in
don't know.
relation to the? It depends on the spelling, right? Is it the nationality or is it the vegetable?
I've forgotten which is which. Either it's a rebellious Swedish player or a rotten vegetable.
Yeah,
I'll let you decide, chat.
Swede is one of those
They say both.
vegetables that's like one of those disguised vegetables that you think it's something else and it turns out to be Swede. There's a few in that sort of genre
Okay.
that I stay away from as much as possible, but that's a side note. That's for a different conversation.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what a Swede looks like. Is that
Well,
is
I
that
mean,
really
it's
bad?
usually like cubed, isn't it? You usually get it in like cubes with carrots, and you're like, which is which? I'd
Okay.
prefer to just have all carrots personally, but
I think if someone held up a Swede and an artichoke, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
no, I don't know what a Swede looks like when it's in its full form, its final form.
We've gotten so off track so early.
Yeah, we have. Let's get on with it. So this is Supercruise News. This is at this point our bi-weekly news show where we talk about all the latest things that are happening in the world of Elite Dangerous, whether that's the things to do with development of the game or whether that's things that are happening in the community. So today we've got a bit of both. We're going to be going over our latest issue report that is up on the forums now. So if you do want to get a head start and get that open, exclamation point issue report on Twitch, do that for you. And I'll just post the link in the chat so that our friends over on YouTube have got it too. That should do it for you over on YouTube. So we'll go through that in a minute. But first things first, you'll see a lot of mention of Update 7 in this issue report. So the latest progress with Update 7 is that it is scheduled for next week. That isn't locked in, but it is currently scheduled for next week. And if that does change, we'll obviously let you know. But at the minute, next week is our point in the calendar, Bruce, for Update 7.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Sorry, I was just reading a comment from YouTube. Someone asked what happened to the Thursday stream last week. So I believe last stream Arthur was playing on console, which meant it had to be a Twitch only stream. So apologies for that. We did announce it on our social channels. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on that kind of information on the future, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. I think also the forums as well. We mentioned that, but it's an exception. We don't tend to do that very often. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Snazzy Hermit Panda, which is a great name, says, is that update only for Odyssey? So the Update 7 update, yes, is specifically for Odyssey, but there is going to be a update for Horizons this month. We just don't have... We can't give you the confirmed details and date of that just yet, but when the team are working on it, so as soon as we can, we will. But there will be a Horizons update too coming this month. I guess I'll explain. The idea of the Horizons update is to bring some of the quality of life changes that have happened in the past Odyssey updates into Horizons. So that's what will be coming in September. We got Arf in the chat who's not feeling very well this week. He's not having a good time of it, but he is still here in spirit and in chat. So welcome on in, Arf.
Yes, absolutely. Could we get some love in the chat for our fallen soldier? Some Fs. No, I'm joking. Purple hearts and Rs and O7s to Arthur, who's hopefully going to feel well and be on stream again soon.
Ben Moss Woodward said, Zach, will there also be a console update too? Yeah, the Horizons patch, there's a lot of Fs in chat. The Horizons patch will be across PC and consoles. Lots and lots of Fs and O7s and get well soon to Arthurs, which is very nice.
There we go. That's nice and wholesome. Ignore me. I'm just a mean individual.
Right. Should we get started then, Bruce?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hop into it. Zach, would you care to explain what the top issue table is? It's only our second one, isn't it? So this may be unfamiliar to some who missed our previous version of this stream.
Yep. Sure. So the issue report, our table that you're seeing now on screen, is basically a culmination of the top things that you are all voting for in the issue tracker. And this is, us telling you the progress and what's happening towards those things. So what we do is we gather the top 20, and then obviously we're working on those behind the scenes. And when we have something to update, we'll change this table. And I think the last one was around a month ago. And so it seems we don't have a confirmed cadence for this yet. But when there is change, is when we would like to do it, and we're still trying to figure these things out. And you will notice that on the current forum post, there are no links to the issue tracker in the actual forum post, but we'll do that tomorrow because that was some good feedback. So that will be done in the morning. Don't worry about that. Okay, so in that case, Bruce, I guess I'll kick off with the first one, which is problems with lighting and illumination. This one was covered a lot in the dev update. So what we're going to be doing is once update 7 comes out, there's going to be a few more slight tweaks. We'll be closing this main issue for problems with lighting and illumination. And what that means is that'll basically free up your votes so that if you do have a more specific problem with lighting that you've come across, you feel free to put that in the issue tracker and spend your votes on that. But at the minute, this one here is... right now, because we've fixed a lot of the lighting stuff in Odyssey, it's just too general for it to be really that helpful for the dev team. So we're going to close that one. The majority of the work we think has been done, but we are aware that you still have some feedback. That's fine. What we would recommend at this point is opening up some specific smaller issues for that and putting your votes in there. So that's what's happening with lighting illumination. That one will be closed come update 7.
Yeah, that's really worth us making clear as well. We're not saying every issue related to lighting has been resolved. We're saying the general issues that we first experienced have been fixed, but any that do remain, as Zach has rightly pointed out, we would like you to resubmit as new individual specific issues where you clearly describe, the lighting is off in this particular instance, so that we can go repro it and try and fix that specific instance.
This is actually pretty similar with number 2 as well, Bruce, right? The degraded terrain textures compared to Horizons. Similar thing. There will be, I believe, some final changes going into update 7, but after that it will be closed. Again, as Bruce just said, if you still have some issues with the terrain textures, feel free to open a more specific ticket. I'm looking at chat at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. How do you want to do this, by the way? Are we supposed to be alternating the issues?
How do you feel, Bruce? How do you feel?
I'm happy to split the issues if you like.
Sure. You go ahead. You take 3 and 4 then, because I did 1 and 2.
All right, we'll do them in doubles. Cool. Yeah, tiling planetary features. So we mentioned this one, I think, in the previous report as well. So the truth is, if we were to sort of rework the way planets are regenerated, that's a huge deal. So we're taking a lot of time to consider it and have a look at this issue holistically. It's not something that can be taken lightly, and therefore remains under investigation. While we're still quite early on in the list, I want to say that you may notice that a lot of these issues which are listed are the issues that were in the same report as before. There are a couple of new ones, but mostly they're the same. The progress, status, and planned releases may have changed a bit. So there have been some changes and progress. But it's worth pointing out that because a lot of these changes are going to be fixed in Update 7, we're waiting until that point to close them off. So we're going to implement the fixes that have been addressed there, make sure that they're working as intended, and then close them off. And after that point, you'll see a lot of this table with new things that we're working on. But also, as stated before, this is not an exhaustive list of everything that we're working on. It's just the top ones that have been voted for. That's not to say other things just don't get looked at or prioritized. It's much the opposite. Cool. So number 4 then, low FPS performance. Yeah, so we know this is still the case for some people. There are improvements coming in Update 7, but optimization and performance remains an ongoing issue. So expect future updates to improve this as well. We don't have a catch-all fix, which is just going to resolve all FPS issues, but we are incrementally improving it.
Indeed. So number 5, limited gameplay during Apex shuttle rides. So the upcoming Apex redirect feature that is going to be coming in with Update 7 should help alleviate some of this. So you can obviously give yourself a nice detour, or you can head somewhere else, or if you made the wrong decision and headed somewhere really far away by accident, you'll be able to turn around, and that should alleviate some of those problems. So that one will also be closed in Update 7. Number 6, the game hangs on exit sometimes. This one remains under investigation. Again, there's not much more we can say at this moment on that one, but we are still looking into that one. Oh, number 7, Bruce.
Absolutely. So I just want to address a comment I saw in the Twitch chat asking if there's anything besides bug fixes coming in Update 7. And there absolutely is. I would encourage you to check out the development update post for, was it the end of last month or the beginning of this month?
End of last month.
End of last month.
Yep.
So that should still be stickied on the forums, and it will tell you some of the stuff that is coming alongside the bug fixes. Content-wise, there's well, we won't go into it now, but we've done a stream on it recently. But new turrets are coming for conflict zones. The Apex redirect feature is coming in, and some other bits and pieces. So yeah, please do check that out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, issue 7, the Invincible Thargoid Heart. We think we fixed it, which is kind of a big deal because we know that it's been a long-standing issue. I think we've mentioned this a few times now. So our suspicion is that it's related to wings with commanders from international locations, different regions trying to wing up together, causing some sort of networking or desynchronization issue. We believe we've nailed it. So in Update 7, it's one of those changes that we'll put it in, see if it's working. If it is, you can expect this one to be closed in time for the next one of these reports.
Yeah.
Number 8, anti-aliasing. Yeah, we're still looking at this. It's another kind of hefty system for us to consider and look at. We know there are issues related to it, so we're continuing to investigate that.
Indeed. DJ Wiley said, "Are you sure about the Thargoid Heart?" We are pretty sure, but that's why Bruce said we are leaving it. We're going to leave it open, and just see. We're going to wait for some player feedback, and if the player feedback is positive, then we'll close it. But we're not going to instantly close that one until we see how you all respond to it. So hopefully, and we're pretty confident, but hopefully that will be a thing of the past come Update 7. Okay. Number 9, joystick buttons 32 plus not working. This one is now under investigation. It says not started on the table, but that was made yesterday, so it is now under investigation. Increased performance problems since Update 5. So this one is kind of separate to the low performance one, but obviously there's some things that are all encompassing. So you will get some improvements in Update 7 for this. But as Bruce mentioned earlier, in terms of in general, the low FPS, that will be a long-term further optimization process.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Number 11 then. So making telemetry for motion simulators widely available. As before, this is something we still need to discuss internally. It's not a simple, yes, we'll do that. I think there are sort of complex reasons that we have to consider for doing it. Can't say much more on that, I'm afraid, for the time being. Empty NHSS signals. Yep, so this is confirmed as fixed. It's one of those which will go in update 7. We'll take a look if it's working as intended. We're going to close that.
Yep, very simple. Number 13, Dav's Hope, not spawning materials. This also appears to be fixed internally. We are also investigating whether other locations have been affected by the same problem. But this one is looking fixed. Again, we'll keep an eye out when the update goes live, but we think that one is looking pretty positive. Next one, Supercruise stuck at 0 time remaining with tunnel forming. This one is still under investigation. We're still working on that. So right now, no updates on that front.
Yes, so I was reading some of the comments. Someone's commented on the Apex redirect change. We're going to get to that one. Sorry, can you remind me which number we're up to?
We're up to number 15.
15, fleet carrier modules. Yep, so another one of those. This is nice and easy. Thankfully, a lot of these are like this. Fixed for update 7, we think. So we're going to confirm that once the update is live. And if it's working as intended, that will be closed. Same situation for NPC fighter kills in conflict zones counting as progression. I think we have to double check internally that it's fixed, but we're pretty sure it is. Stay posted for next week's update to see if it's gone in and is working as intended.
Yep. Number 17, support missions have been culled. This one should also be fixed for update 7. We'll close that once we confirm in the live game, but internally that one is looking fixed. I just saw Black Sky Legion asking about information on upcoming features and not just bugs. So what I would recommend is check out the development update that goes out at the end of every month that Bruce talked about. We list, some of the features that come in the next update, and then some of the things we're working later down the line. Number 18, system and galaxy map misalignment in widescreen aspect ratio. This one remains under investigation. This one is probably of these not on the closer side, but we are still going to investigate that one.
Yes. Sorry, you've
Number
lost
19.
Me again. I'm struggling.
The final
reading.
stretch.
Okay, the final stretch. Sorry. Need to stop reading the chat while I'm meant to be concentrating. Although really I should be doing both, so I'm not too upset or apologetic. Yeah, so planet and moon orbit lines not visible. Yeah, this one we're still looking at. When we have more to share on it, we will share it with you. And then finally, mission rewards not sharing with the team. We're hoping this will be improved with update 7, but it's not entirely sure if further fixes are needed for it in update 8 or some future update, then they will be included. Great. That pretty much covers it. So yeah, thankfully, as we said, while a lot of this table looks quite similar to the one before, thankfully a lot of the changes will be implemented in time for update 7. So that's great news. It means that by the time next week is done with, a lot of these will be closed, hopefully confirmed as fixed live game, and yeah, we can crack on with whatever you guys vote on next.
Yep. Low 200 said, how do you report an issue? So what you want to do is head over to our issue tracker. You could probably just give a Google of Frontier issue tracker, but I see you're on YouTube, so I'll give you a quick link. You want to head over here, and you can report your issue there, and then other players can, if they like, they can vote on that, and then we'll acknowledge / confirm, etc. That's the process.
So now feels like the right time to address that comment about the Apex redirect. So yes, it is the case that the fix we're implementing, or sorry, the new feature we're implementing is not necessarily a fix, but at the same time, the issue is not really an issue. So if you let me explain what I mean by that, and I think Arthur touched on this point not so long ago. Not having anything to do during Apex Redirect. This is a I wouldn't describe it as old yet, but it's sort of an issue that arose, I think, at the time of the Odyssey beta. And I think the context Arthur gave for this is quite correct, which is that the beta took place in a very large system, deliberately large, so there was enough space for everyone to explore and enjoy walking on planets for the first time and that sort of thing, which meant that Apex shuttle rides were very long. Now, when you combine that with the fact that in the initial phase, there were no ships for players to fly around in on their own. You were only getting around through Apex shuttle rides. That did mean if you were going from one corner of that system to another to do a mission or whatever piece of gameplay you wanted to test, then yes, it was quite a long trip. Now, we think a lot of this will be sort of indirectly resolved with the new feature coming in Update 7, which we've gone over before, which will let you redirect your shuttle so you can actually send it either back to where you came from. Say you forgot something or you changed your mind about the mission you want to do, whatever the case may be, you can actually go back to your initial station or redirect it to a nearby eligible location as well. We think that's going to fix a lot of that. But yes, it's still the case that we're not adding gameplay as such, but at the same time, it is working as intended. So we would like to free up this slot for voting on other issues that are actual bugs and issues. We always remain open as always for gameplay feedback suggestions, but that's the reasoning behind that one.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, should we move on, or anything else you want to cover there, Bruce?
I think that just about covers it.
Nice. So yeah, you can check that out on your own time using !issue report in the Twitch chat, or head over to the news and bulletins section of the forums and you'll find it there. And yeah, like I said earlier, we'll add the issue tracker links to that as well in the morning, so you'll be able to directly go over to the issue and leave a vote or a comment if you would like to do so. But yeah, let's move on then. So, on the schedule this week that we put out on Monday, we said that the Thursday stream was going to be a evening live stream because at that point we were still confirming things and getting everything ready to go, I would say. So the plan for Thursday is going to be a pretty fun stream. What we're going to do is we're going to have a narrative sort of lore-based stream, and what we'd like for it to be is a pretty cool sort of round table tour through some of the lore of Elite Dangerous. Probably not all of it because we won't be able to cover all of it in an hour slot, but we can certainly try our best. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be joined by some pretty wonderful guests. We're going to have Malik VR, we're going to have Grinning Crow, and we're going to have Psychit with us. So make sure to join us on Thursday evening for that, the usual time, 7 BST. And we're just going to go through and talk some Elite Dangerous, get some opinions. It's going to be a bit of a maybe it's going to be a heated debate, or maybe everyone's going to agree with everything. Who knows? We might have some pro and anti-Fargoid members of the round table present, and I'm sure people in chat will have their own opinions, which we'll be looking forward to hearing. So yeah, that's going to be a fun stream. Make sure, if you're new to Elite Dangerous or you want to catch up on the lore or get some hints on to where to start or maybe stuff like that, definitely check out Thursday's stream because the idea is we're going to get some experts in the world of Elite Dangerous lore to help us out on that front.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, Zach. I'm looking forward to I won't be on that one, so I'll be watching it instead and listening intently. Speaking of future streams, there is something I wanted to tease a little bit. So our avid fans on Twitch and YouTube may have seen some of our Elite Sports streams in the past, and we'd like to do another one. We have some plans in the works for another one, and I won't say too much about it, but it's likely to be very exciting. We're hoping it's going to be a big one, and it should come with some nice news as well if all goes to plan. So the theme is going to be stunts again, so similar to before where we had live, we had people on flying through the mail slot and doing all sorts of crazy tricks where the superstar panel judge panel rated and critiqued all of the stunts. We'd like to do something similar for this one, but this time using ships, SRVs, and on foot, as well as any combination of those three. So expect later this week a post to go out where we're going to be requesting that anyone who would like to be featured on such a stream send in videos of people doing stunts with SRVs on foot on ships, or anything in between. So we're expecting really cool stuff, something like, someone jumping over a canyon in an SRV while a ship flies underneath, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
We want to see it all. You can expect to post about that later this week.
indeed. Right. That's all the game news I've got, Bruce. Is there anything that I've forgotten before we move on to community
I
highlights?
think that's everything.
Yes. Right. Well, in that case, obviously feel free to keep your questions coming, chat, but we'll move on to some community stuff. Here we go. Okay. So, first thing I've got is a Coriolis desk tidy, which was made from some scrap wood. This was from Beardy Beardy on Reddit. Let me bring it up. Now, I think this is really cool. Let me get this out of the way. I think this is really cool. But what is a desk tidy, Bruce? Do you know that? Like, what is the purpose of a desk tidy?
I think the clue's in the name, isn't it? I mean,
But how does this tidy your desk?
I don't know. Presumably, it opens up and you can put your pens and stuff in it. I'm not sure.
You know what? That makes perfect sense because the next screenshot has pens inside the Coriolis. So you probably explained it.
Amazing. I love how. Here's the thing. That would not. So you didn't prep me for this at all. Now, if for whatever reason I didn't know what a desk tidy was, I would have looked like a right fool here. But no, that is very cool. I like it a lot. Really, really well designed. Who made this?
This was from Beardy Beardy on Reddit, which is a great name.
Oh, 7 to Beardy Beardy. That's amazing.
Yeah. Aging Jedi says a pot to put pens in. It looks like all of chat know what it is except me.
Oh, you didn't know what a desk tidy was?
No, I didn't. I wasn't like setting up a bit. I didn't know what a desk tidy was.
Okay.
Grumble
I guess
says,
you just have a messy desk then, don't you?
yeah, I do actually, to be fair. I need to get myself one of these Coriolis desks. I might message Beardy Beardy, see if we can send one my way. Very nice.
Very, very cool.
Well, this is a cool photo. Just before we move on, is him actually, I'm assuming, engraving the Coriolis. Very nice. Right. Next up. Oh.
So I was gonna say, it looks like it's sort of being burned into the wood with a laser.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know, to be honest. I'm not I'm not an expert in the field of wood carving and engraving and stuff. Way out of my ballpark.
Laser etching.
Laser etched.
Yeah.
Next up, we have got a. This is firstly a work in progress shot, but we've got the finished shot later. This is from Commander Flash Moonbot. Their wife is teaching them carving and printing, so of course they decided to make it Elite Dangerous themed because why wouldn't you? And this is some of the progress they've made with some printing. It's looking pretty nice. Again, way better than I could do with this kind of thing. So I'm always in awe of these people who are just starting out in these new sort of art forms for themselves and just producing something that I could probably produce in about 100 hours of practice.
Yeah, this is really cool. I like the style a lot. Big fan of this.
Very nice. Okay, next up we've got something from Commander Cassius 259. They're sharing some artwork of a nice Crate Phantom. We always like to show a Crate Phantom because it is my favorite ship, and of course I'll always try and get that on the stream. But this is an interesting photo, Bruce, because this, I don't know what the backdrop is, but this reminds me of when I was back in primary school. You would have those projectors, and I'm sure chat, I don't know how old everyone is in chat, but if you're on the younger side, you might not know these. The sort of like projectors that would beam light down onto something, onto a white screen, white surface, and then it is a Crate Mark II, I was wrong, on a white surface, and then it would somehow project that onto a wall through mirrors, I believe, an overhead projector. That's what it's called. Does this remind you of that, Bruce, or am I just going crazy?
I see where you're coming from, but it's a light box for tracing
right, well, there you go.
drawings. So yeah, it's the same kind of idea, yeah, except this one just doesn't have a mirror above it to project the image. But right. Yeah, similar concept.
Yeah, everyone in chat is also saying it's an artist light box. It's a light box. Light box used for tracing. Thanks, everybody. Very nice.
Yeah. Someone's saying, yeah, we had those projectors in school.
Nice.
I never got to be the lucky one who was chosen to, put the bit of paper over the
pressure.
thing. It's a high honor, isn't it? But I was never chosen.
It really is a high honor. Yeah, very nice. Well done to Commander Cassius 259 for that one. Okay, next up, Bruce, we've got what we always like to show when possible is a commander's I want to say setup, but this is extreme. This looks like we've got, I'm gonna guess, two computers, including the laptop, but then well, including the laptop, there's 5 screens here. Battle station, very much how I would phrase it too. What do you think about this setup, Bruce? You've also got the nice sound pads at the back.
Yeah, I can see they're in the process of soundproofing the room as well. This is a really nice setup. Really nice setup. I enjoy the I don't know if it's Gandalf specifically or some nondescript uncopyrighted wizard holding a orb, but that's also very cool.
Yep. I'm sure it is an uncopyrighted wizard. Somebody said they need a desk tidy.
It looks like they've got one next to the
Oh yeah, they do have one.
Yeah.
Next to the uncopyrighted wizard. I think that's where it is, right?
Yeah, I think so. Got something going on over there. But yes, I rate this setup an A.
I wonder what they use. Is that an iPad there on the right? I know a lot of commanders use iPads and stuff, but EDDB and stuff like that, which is a good idea to be fair. Yeah, very nice setup. They've got nice wallpapers. They've got as well.
Yeah, very, very good.
Okay, next up we have got a video. This is actually the. Let me play it. Hopefully, let me know about the audio levels, chat. This is the Fort. In fact, it's muted, so don't worry about the audio. This is the Fort Ash obstacle course by Alec Turner. We always like to see these. Again, I think I could do this, Bruce. I mean, we'll let it play out, but I'm pretty confident that I could do this. In fact, I might submit my own entry into the Elite Sports stream with this by doing this obstacle course.
I think you should.
I'll add some flair, I'll add some flips and some, extra pizzazz to it.
So this is a really good example of the kind of thing we would be looking for.
Yes.
By the way, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
It is. If you can, just doing this normally would be a fun submission for us to judge your progress with our All-Star panel. But I guess if you do want to check this out, !Fort in the Twitch chat will head you over to the forum post by Alec Turner, who is always putting on really, really cool events and really, really nice things for the community to get involved with, and this is the latest one of them. This is actually a really cool place that I was not aware of, so I'm happy to.
It is a nice setting. Yeah. Is Alec playing The Floor is Lava here?
It looks like it. It really does look like it. Thank you, Heather, for posting the link on YouTube as well. Think you could do this, Bruce?
Yeah, I mean, can't be that hard, can it?
Can't be that. It looks very, very straightforward, is all I'm going to say. All the pips are in engines, which is usually what you would do on these situations. This is a big jump, to be fair. What's the gravity? 0.1, is that? 0.18? I'm just trying to make it out in the video. So you've got a pretty decent jump range. Nice. Okay, yeah, so make sure to check that out, !Fort. And yeah, if you want to do that and then submit that as your elite sports entry, that will be perfectly viable. Right, so next up, what have we got? Oh, we got another sort of obstacle scenario. This one was sent in to Reddit by Dub the Bustocles, which is, I'm not sure, Bruce, if you have any context on that name, but I don't. But either way, they basically said that whenever they find a new kind of station or outpost or anything, they like to make an obstacle course out of it, and they like to, fly through it as fast as possible. So this is them doing just that. Don't know if you do that, Bruce. I tend to just go straight in the mail slot because I like to play it safe, but...
Yeah, I'm the same as you, although actually maybe it would pay from time to time to, take that extra few moments just to appreciate a new find like this, because that looks really, really nice.
Mm-hmm. Like
I mean, this would totally qualify as well for the submissions that we're looking for.
Yep, 100%. We like to see all that kind of thing. Like it says, Alec is a wizard with an SRV, tames the beast with such accuracy. It is true. At first, when you first start with an SRV, it can feel difficult to really nail. But then once you get to grips with the how you manage the throttle and the especially the one thing I learned, Bruce, the one thing I learned is the power and the key of the oh, what do they call it? Fliving. Fliving is very important. Very, very important. Spend as much time in the air as possible, basically, chat, in your SRV. And that way you don't have to, bump into some rocky surfaces or terrain. You'll just fly straight over everything. So pips and engines and keep yourself in the air as much as possible. Very useful if you want to set a nice time for any kind of trial or race.
Yeah, definitely. It's a skill unto itself. So yeah, we look forward to seeing what you guys can pull off.
Indeed. Like it says, 4K hours in, still working on those flying skills. It does take some practice, for sure. Okay, time for stellar screenshots, Bruce. Do you want to explain the competition, what it is, how you can get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So Stellar Screenshots are our weekly competitions. And much like it sounds, we think Elite Dangerous is a lovely looking game, and thankfully so do many of you. So much so that you often send us screenshots and go, hey, look at this beautiful picture I took of the game. We pick our favorites from those every week on Twitter, Facebook, and the forums. And we say, hey, here are our favorites. We're going to call them the Stellar Screenshots. And any of the commanders whose pictures do get featured win an exclusive paint job that you won't get anywhere else. That's about the size of it. If you want to get involved, like I said, just post your screenshots on those threads on Twitter, Facebook, and the forums, or just on those platforms in general. But if you do that, make sure to use the hashtag Stellar Screenshots so that we can find them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get on with it. And Alec Turner is everywhere on today's stream. He's back again with our first entry. Um, and Sally has noted that Alec seems to be a risk taker, so he's probably not abiding by the keep clear uh, sort of symbol that you've got there, the text. But this is it's a really, really nice photo. I mean, the system itself is pretty cool. They've got the two planets back to back there, or one. I'm assuming one of them's probably a moon. But either way, really nice shot.
Yeah, that is a great shot. I really like this. Is that Thargoid goop or?
Looks like the good old Fargoid goop, Bruce.
Yeah, I like it. Very jarring. I like how they've deliberately made the image a bit unsettling by having sort of the awkward angle. I can't remember what the name of that sort of effect or technique is called, but really nice shot there from Alec.
I'm sure we'll have people in the chat that know the name of that. Let us know. I mean, it's just tilting it, right? But I'm sure there's a fancy name.
I think there is a fancy name, but yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is tilting the. Yeah,
Dutch angle.
maybe. I hope. I hope that's what it actually is, and that's not something
A lot of people.
untoward. Dutch angle. Okay.
A lot of
Yes.
people saying it, so
Okay.
hopefully it
That,
is.
that probably is actually correct. Then ignore me. Right.
Okay, next up.
Moving on.
Next up, this one's from Commander Darwin. This is an interesting one. I mean, they've got the shadow really like casting super long on this one. And Paul likes his sort of shadowy, dark figures, and I'm assuming that might have been some of the thinking that went behind this one. Red Fawn says Slenderman right there. I mean, I can see it, to be fair. But yeah, really a sort of unique one that we don't usually get a lot of this kind of shot, which is nice to see.
Yeah, this is very clever and yeah, definitely unusual. Obviously they've gone out of their way to sort of elongate the shadow as much as possible. They took it at a asymmetric angle as well, and there's even it's a small detail, but I think it adds a little something. There's a few footprints towards the center of the frame as well, which adds a little bit of intrigue. So yeah, I like this.
Very nice. Okay, next up, this one's from Commander Grayson. This is a very, very, very large. I'm assuming that's a brown dwarf, but it's it's very pink, and it's very. You can just about make out the SRV above Grayson there. I mean, the scale is ridiculous on this one.
Yeah, this is pretty magnificent. Yeah, the tiny, I think it's an SRV, right? The silhouetted there at the bottom. Just giving a sheer sense of scale.
Yep.
Super nice.
Very, very nice. Next up, this one is from Commander Koros Far. Sally dubbed this one dreamlike, and I pretty much agree with that statement. This is a pretty stunning picture. In fact, this is the one that we're using as the thumbnail for today's stream on YouTube. So thank you to Commander Koros Far again for a brilliant photo. But Bruce, I mean, wow, stunning.
Yeah, no, wonderful use of the Dutch angle there as well. Where it's the horizon is now at a 45 degrees, almost corner to corner. Very nicely there, very nicely done there. Sorry, by Koros Thar.
Okay, next up we've got this one's from Commander Nexus of Empathy, which I did see. I think I saw this on Twitter over the last week. This is another really unique shot. Actually, they've done a really clever thing with the making use of the asteroid belt to really get this sort of half and half spiky, rocky look. Very nice, Bruce.
Yeah, no, this is really beautiful. Big fan of this. Again, like you say, another unusual shot. Very clever use of color and elements and features. Symmetry. It's got a lot of really nice things there. Super interesting to look at.
Yep, really clever. Well done. I would like to see more of this kind of thing, please, chat. Very nice.
You like the abstract sort of conceptual
Yeah, I
stuff?
like it when it gets you thinking deeper, more than just looking straight at the image. There's layers to it, Bruce.
I see.
Layers.
I see. Do you like contemporary art, Zach?
No. I couldn't tell you a thing about contemporary art. But I'm sure it's nice.
This is a million times better than any contemporary art, by the way, chat.
Next up, this one's from Commander Osric. Very ominous haze as usual with sort of Fargoid haze that's going on. Yeah, very nice as always. Very nice shot from Osric.
Yeah, really well done here. We've got the classic green steam floating around, making the whole thing nice and ominous, and the station mostly silhouetted, dimly lit by some of the orange elements there. Nicely done.
Great job with the lighting on that one, Osric. Very nice. Okay. Someone's just asked, do pictures I posted on the ED Facebook page also count? So they'll count if you find the latest Stellar screenshots post on Facebook and then post your entry in that post, in that thread, then we'll be able to look at them, yeah, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. We pull these from both Facebook and Twitter and the forum thread. But yeah, make sure you help us find them the most easily when you post them on those threads rather than just generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, this one's from Commander Psychic. This is a really, really nice shot. I mean, the shape is iconic at this point, Bruce. I mean, it's just such a nice. It's very simple. It's a very simple shot, but I don't know. It's great. I have no more words for it. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost difficult to add anything to it. It just looks fantastic. Really well centered and framed. Sort of perfect level of zoom, I would say. The distance that the wonderful Psykit, who we have in chat here, actually, hello, has chosen here to take the picture at. Just really, really nicely done.
Yep, very, very nice. Next up, this one's from Commander Snowwowo. It's a great name. This is an awesome. I would like to know where this is, Commander Snowwowo, if you're in the chat, because this is really nice. I'm assuming is that just a nebula there in the background? Because it's not a Lagrange cloud, is it? It's too.
Yeah, I think it's a nebula. I think so. Yeah.
Very
I like
nice.
how it has that sort of arch of
that's what
darker,
I mean.
Yeah, it looks like they're flying into the. I don't know, just very, very cool.
Yep. Chat. There is an asp in front of things. What it is?
A staple.
There has to be one. Okay. Next up, this one's from Commander Vardogas. Looks like they're at a barnacle site. Very nice. Strange green glow on this one, Bruce. I can't personally say that I've been and collected these myself if they are collectible, but either way, nice shot, some nice detail on this one.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on here. I'm loving all of the detail, the angle. Yeah, the shot's very nicely taken. I don't think I've been close to the barnacles before, but I don't think I've seen one of these.
Yeah, I like when commanders focus on something that is typically not focused on. for the stellar screenshot. You know what I mean? Like something like this, or like a footprint, like you said, or something that we don't usually see. I think it's really nice to see a sort of different part of the game that's focused on in the image. Okay, okay. Next up, and last but not least, this one's from Commander Xanta. Looks like they've got. I mean, it's very nice. You've got the star in the background there, and it's sort of beaming through the asteroid belt. It looks like a Type 10. It's the Type 10 because it's got the spoiler, right? So, I mean, interesting ship choice. Maybe doing a bit of mining out there in your Type 10.
Yeah, maybe. Big ups to the Type 10, which I think I say you and Arthur flew for the first time not that long ago.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a very good ship actually for a conflict zone. If you have someone to sort of multi-crew with, and they can man the turrets, and you just have like you fitted us with a nice rail gun, and then the turrets around. It was really nice. I think there's some tweaks we could make it even more efficient, but it was super fun for sure, especially with the fighters.
right. Yeah, yeah. Sort of the floating fortress thing going on, and then yeah, if you wanted to get into the weeds yourself, just hop into the fighters.
Yeah,
That was a cool stream.
yeah. Uh, Zera in chat says, "Where is anything new?" So I would check out the development update that we put out on the 31st of August. Is that right? I feel like that's right. Last
Yes, I
one.
think it was 31st. If not, it'll be around that
Yeah,
date. But yeah,
it's on the news and bulletin section of the forum. You'll see a lot of the new features that we're working on in update 7, and then things that we're working on later down the line too.
yeah. In terms of addressing problems, maybe you missed the first part of the stream, but we talked through the issue tracker top 20 table to update everyone on the progress. I'd recommend going back through the beginning to watch that. Otherwise, on the forums, we've just posted the latest version of that report in written form where you can catch up and see the changes and fixes that are going into update 7.
Yeah.
Well, some of them. There's more than what's in that list as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the style screenshots we've got. Another great batch of entries as always. Thank you everyone for submitting that, and you'll be receiving your. In fact, you should probably already have received your paint jobs for this set. Yeah, very very nice. Okay, so I'm looking at the time, Bruce. We've got 5 minutes left in our stream slot. I mean, we could field some. We could talk to chat. We could do a CQC round. What are you thinking, mate?
I like the idea of talking to the chat. So if anyone has any questions or comments, I feel like that's not something we dedicate time to specifically. Also, we tend to do it throughout our streams, but maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Let's see what people say.
Yeah, why not?
And just have a bit of a heart to heart with the audience, maybe.
It started off, Steve Ace 77 says, has the release date for Update 7 been revealed? We've not revealed it, but it is currently scheduled for next week. If we have any updates for that, we will let you know. Pinky Bird says, do you like bees? Yeah, sure, bees are fine.
I like the concept of bees, but I wouldn't be friends with one.
Rex says, can you comment on the new 45G landable planet found? I actually saw the forum post for this earlier. I mean, it looks pretty cool. You can check that out in the forum. Someone just asked, where is it? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a newly discovered system that a commander found. And then in that system, they discovered a 45G planet it was very, very hot, I also believe, on that planet. So definitely one to check out. Someone in chat probably know.
It's hot on this planet as well, to be fair.
It is very hot on this planet today.
Someone says, let's discuss the value of Thargoid lives. Well, like we said earlier, we expect a lot of that discussion to happen on Thursday when we discuss the Elite Dangerous lore, narrative, current setting, all of that, with our special guest roundtable where we're going to have a few of our wonderful content creators on to go over exactly that sort of topic.
Yep. Tyler Gibbs says, how do I submit my screenshots? You can do that on Twitter, Facebook, or the forums. If you're on Twitter, just hashtag Stellar Screenshots. On Facebook, just find the latest Stellar Screenshots post, and likewise on the forums, there's a Stellar Screenshots thread.
Lave Radio asking for the plug. I'm happy to give it. So yeah, Lave Radio is going to be live tonight at the 45G World from 2030 BST. So that's 8:30 o'clock BST today. So go check them out. Big fans of Lave Radio and everything that they do. Anyone else care to comment or question? Now's the time.
Snap Gemini says, give us opaque helmets for all the suits. That is something that I'm aware of and I've fed back to the dev team. I don't have an actual update on where that is right now, but the dev team do know that is a request, especially for content creators who like to do sort of machinima kind of things, for sure.
Definitely. I don't want to spoil anything, but we didn't mention it earlier. There is a new CG coming this week, and I'm going to tease a little bit. There's some really cool rewards in this one. So if you're towards, the edge of the bubble or a bit further out, and you're in that position where, I don't know, I'm going to wait, see what the next CG is, or maybe I'll just go out, consider sticking around. If you're one of those people who sometimes participates, sometimes doesn't, this one's got some really cool incentives, and we would encourage you to get involved.
Yep. Snazzy Hermit Panda says, our Twitch drops enabled on these streams. Not right now. They will be back in the future, though, for sure.
Timescales on a console announcement. Unfortunately, not. When we have anything to discuss regarding console release for Odyssey, we will let everyone know in an official announcement. Commander Hole in Head wants combat rebalancing. Sure, let us know what you would like rebalanced. We're always open to that kind of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Knuckles says, regarding Megaship's social spaces, which I think we have mentioned before. Is that right, Zach? Or was it on a stream not long ago?
Well, you mentioned in the dev update that megaships, not fleet carriers, but megaships will be getting social spaces.
That's right. So they are asking about fleet carrier social spaces.
Nothing to announce on that.
We have nothing to mention on that for the time being. We're not saying never, but there's nothing to say on that front for the time being.
Yep. Is the plan still to unify the graphics of Odyssey into Horizons? Yes, that is still the plan.
Yes. On a similar topic, someone before asked whether the increased module storage is going to come over to Horizons, and I believe that is the intention when that merge happens.
Yep. Okay. Well, in that case, Bruce, any last questions you want to get in before we wrap up for the day?
I think that about covers it, Zach. Cool. If you're happy, I'm happy. Hopefully the chat has enjoyed the stream. Thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate it as always, and we hope you will join us on Thursday for that narrative and lore discussion stream with special guests that we mentioned earlier.
Yep, sounds good. Right, so exclamation point Bruce for the road, indeed. Everyone, exclamation point Bruce in the chat. Also, exclamation point issue report if you want to see that. And yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. Please stick around until the end of the stream. I just saw a very strange comment that I'm just going to try and carry on through. Please stick around until we find somebody to raid. And obviously, as always, be kind to the person that we raid. And yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. So until then, 07 Commanders.
07, everyone. Bye-bye.